Start recording. Yep. Wait a minute. Good afternoon from Special School District at the Learning Center. We want to welcome each and every one of you all today to our Lunch and Learn, where we will have PAWS as a presenter. I want to share with you our mission for the FACE division here at SSD. As you can see on our screen, is to partner with students, families, and staff to support students' specialized academic, social, and emotional needs to promote self-determination, equitable opportunities, and authentic inclusion. If you take a look at the screen here, we will have webinar tips. If you take a moment to follow me. So the webinar is being recorded. The session is being monitored live through YouTube. Use the comment section on YouTube to ask questions, and our moderator will share it with the presenter as we go along. Webinars cannot guarantee a confidential environment, so we ask that you please don't share any identifiable information about yourself or your student. And if you require additional assistance, please chat with the host. Closed captioning is activated. A recording of this webinar will be available to you immediately after the presentation. And so with this time, I am going to introduce you to Erica Lemke, professor at the University of Missouri. Good afternoon, Erica.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and can't wait to talk to you a little bit about our program today.
All right.
So I would like to talk to you a little bit today and share about our PAWS program. Let me just get those slides for you. So PAWS is one of the newest post-secondary inclusive programs. This program is housed at the University of Missouri. PAWS stands for Preparing Adults for Work and Society. And basically, this is a 2-year residential program at Mizzou. Students participate in 4 semesters as full-time University of Missouri students. And as I mentioned, it is a residential program, so students live in the residence halls on campus. Students take a combination of classes through the PAWS program. So we call those skills classes. Classes that meet their needs as individuals with disabilities. So classes like career exploration, safe and healthy relationships. Then they also take some typical Mizzou course catalog courses. So in the fall, our students took public speaking. That's a communications class. This semester, our students are taking a class from Human Development and Family Science called Successful Adulting. That's a very popular class on campus. They're also taking, one of our students is taking a theater class, another student's taking a philosophy class. So depending on the needs and strengths of the student, their interests, we're trying to match classes that will fill out that student's schedules. Students are non-degree seeking, so at the end of the 2 years, this does result in a certificate. It's not a degreed program. But that said, our PAWS students are Mizzou students, first and foremost. They're part of the Mizzou community. They are integrated in the same way that any of our other students are. They have access to dining halls to extracurriculars, just as any other Mizzou student would. And so that's just a little overview of our PAWS program. Some of our goals in the program include not only our PAWS students learning from the Mizzou community, but we've really seen on the opposite side, our Mizzou community really learning from our PAWS program. So there's some collaboration with faculty, staff, and peers. Students certainly gain more independence so that they can pursue lifelong job opportunities, social and community opportunities. But they're also building relationships as they progress through the program, relationships with their roommates in the residence halls, relationships with staff and other students on campus, relationships with their instructors, and relationships with each other in our program. And students are also being, excuse me, being exposed to a wider variety of programs and opportunities that will help lead to long-term sustained employment at the end of the program. So our mission, it's very similar to the mission of Special School District that Latricia just shared. It's to create an inclusive community. We want our students to flourish on campus. We challenge them through coursework, through classes in our PAWS program to become leaders and advocates. One of our students this past fall was, he did a speech in his public speaking class on bullying and talked about some of his experiences in the past. And it was a very important way for him to sort of therapeutic for him to go through that, but also really important for the rest of his class to hear that in his own words. And we're really about self-determination and advocacy. So our students are independent, they're independently living, and we're looking for students who can come to our Mizzou campus who have intellectual or developmental disabilities, but who can live independently. We want to build on that. So we have kind of three big buckets of skill building. You've heard me mention independent living a few times. We're thinking about some of these areas where we can build upon for our students, things like self-care and scheduling, working on food and money management. So nutrition, we're trying to enable our students to be more independent as they move on from this program. We also want more independence in the area of academic and work skills. So things like goal setting and planning. Each morning, the students have a Zoom check-in with our director, Maggie Center. I'm the faculty liaison for the program. By the way, I should have mentioned that before, but we also have a director, Maggie Center. She helps coordinate all facets of the program. There are coaches who help the students with assignments or accessing electronic platforms for classes. But we're really working on some of those more academic and work tasks. This semester, the students will begin their career exploration class. So they'll also be out in the community exploring some job sites. And we've got nothing but positive responses from some of the workplaces in our community that are excited to host these students. And also we want that social or community connection. So again, you can kind of see a variety of topics that we'll be discussing as part of the program. The primary question we're answering here, or the goal of this, is helping students to think about what they bring to their relationships, what support they need in expanding their connections. And so we're addressing everything from, safe and healthy relationships to sex education, to self-determination in terms of disability rights, So we have a lot of pieces that are integrated that address that social community. I mentioned before that our students take a combination of classes, both Mizzou, more typical classes, and then classes that are specifically part of our PAWS program. These PAWS classes are in the course catalog, but would be more tailored for our students in the PAWS program. So I mentioned in the fall, our students took a class called public speaking. We have other classes where we've met with instructors and department chairs to identify a good fit, things like history, financial planning. So as we have more students in the program, we anticipate that we'll continue to add classes to this list. So our network of support is small but mighty. We are a program that's in first year. And so Maggie, our director, myself, help coordinate kind of the biggest chunk of the activities for PAWS. We just have 2 students now, but we anticipate taking 4 to 6 students in addition to that in the fall. So we want to grow as quickly as we can. So we have the program director. We have a student who's a graduate assistant on the project. She's a doctoral student in occupational therapy, so she's supporting our program. We have other practicum students from occupational therapy who are working on an ongoing basis with our students, meeting them, for instance, in their residence hall room to talk about some skills like independent living skills. We have a residence hall advisor that is hired to oversee and provide more support for the living space where our students live. And then we have faculty from Department of Special Education, from other departments across campus who are supporting our students. Our students also register with Disability and Access Services on campus here at Mizzou, and that provides extra accommodations as the students need those. We have a list of volunteers who are at the ready to work with our students this semester, and that includes some peer mentors who are excited to engage in some social activities with our students. So we have a good network of support here. Some of you probably know it's a big campus, and so I can't tell you the overwhelming support and excitement that we've gotten as a result of introducing this program. So who's a good fit for PAWS? If you're listening to this and you're thinking like, ooh, I'm not sure, like my child might be ready for a program like this, we're really looking for students who have intellectual or developmental disabilities who want to go to college, but perhaps feel like traditional degree programs might be unable to meet their needs. So students who maybe would not be able to meet the ACT requirements, for instance, for entrance into Mizzou. We need students who have foundational skills of independent living. So we don't have like a full-time care coordinator. We don't have a full-time nurse on staff. So students have to be able to independently manage their medications, for instance, or their basic routines. They will live on campus. That's part of the program. And so they have to be willing and ready to move into a residence hall on campus. And we're looking for students who have academic and work goals, who are ready to extend themselves. We've already had a couple of our students talking more about, you know, that they'd like to live independently following this. And so it really does create that sense of independence. What makes PAWS unique? There are other programs like this. There are other programs like this in Missouri. Certainly we have, you know, worked so closely with the Succeed program at the University of Missouri of St. Louis at UMSL. They've been such a wonderful partner to us. So there are other programs like this in Missouri and in the nation. But PAWS is really unique for a few reasons. And it really goes back to all of the different great programs that we're surrounded by. So if you think of sort of PAWS in the middle, we're kind of the middle circle here. We're surrounded first by great partners in our College of Education and Human Development. So I'm in the Department of Special Education. All of the faculty and students here are extremely supportive of the program, but we've gotten great support, for instance, from our dean of the college. Then we have the university and the broader Columbia community. We're all interested in how to make our communities more inclusive. And so I think this message that PAWS is trying to communicate really resonates with the Mizzou community, with the city of Columbia. Then we have a regional organization called MIPSA. It's a Midwest group that includes lots of post-secondary programs. And those programs meet together monthly on Zoom, but they also meet together to support students and families more broadly across the programs. And then finally, in that final outer green ring, we have Think College, which is our national umbrella for post-secondary inclusive programs. And so there's a nice support system that sort of radiates out. A few things from our current students. We asked them to give us some quotes about their feelings about being in the PAWS program. One of them said, PAWS has created a welcoming and safe environment when school previously didn't feel safe. We get to be authentic and we get to be who we are. We feel, another student said, we feel supported, listened to, and trusted by our teachers. And then finally, a student said, college is a lot of work. PAWS has helped me learn to ask for help when I need it, so I don't end up spinning my wheels or getting stuck. So students, sometimes these student quotes are perhaps the most effective way to communicate what we're doing in the PAWS program. Our families and parents, we also asked them to tell us, you know, if they were going to talk a little bit about the PAWS program, what they might say. One of them said, at first, the thought of our student coming to college seemed impossible. This team works hard to support our student and our family. They've really got our backs. We watched our student outgrow what we thought in their first semester. We can't wait to see what happens next. And then another family said, when our student first came to Mizzou, I was nervous. I thought they would be lonely or would feel like they didn't fit in. I'm seeing them become more and more confident every time I hear from them. I couldn't be more proud of them. So really nice comments from families and parents of our PAWS students. So what will students gain after their participation in the PAWS program? That's that 2 years or 4 semesters. One, a much stronger foundation of self-determination and advocacy. That begins, of course, in their elementary and middle and high school career, but after the PAWS program, leading to even a stronger sense of self-determination. They'll have a more clear direction toward academic and work goals. We work with their service providers like vocational rehab to create a better net support. We're also helping them to create meaningful routines. So they have a schedule each day. They have, you know, a routine that they follow, and we hope that that will stick with them long term. And then they're gaining experience and skills, everything from, you know, how to communicate more effectively to how to, you know, approach employers that will help them in the future. And finally, you know, when they leave, they'll be a Mizzou graduate. And so they will have felt a sense of connection, and they will continue to have that Mizzou community to rely on. I think, for those of you listening to this today, you're probably aware of this, but we know this program is important not only because we want to meet the needs of students out there who might not have the opportunity to attend university in the past, but also because we know from the research, from statistics, that young adults with disabilities are oftentimes underemployed and underpaid. And so we want to try to reverse that course. We want to try to help them secure employment when they're finished in an area they might not have previously considered, but also with the pay that they deserve. And we do also know that students who attend programs like PAWS report higher quality of life indicators. So we're really interested in how we can maximize that for our students. So next steps as part of the program, the best way to keep up and get more information is to go to our website, and that's here. You might take a quick screenshot or a picture of this to remember for later. But it also, if you just Google PAWS, P-A-W-S, and Missouri, that should pop up for you. We do have our online application available now. We are taking applications for the fall of 24. You can certainly contact us, CEHD, that's College of Ed and Human Development, CEHD PAWS at missouri.edu. That's our email. And I'll just scroll quickly to, let's see, I guess I don't have the flyer on here, but we have been doing some open houses, and those are always advertised on our website, or you can reach out to us at that CEHD PAWS, and we're happy to schedule a time to talk with you to give you more information about the program. So you might start with the website and with an email, and then we can help you from there. So I'll stop there and see if we have any questions so far. I think you're on mute.
We do not have questions at this time,
Okay.
but I want to thank you so much for the very rich information that you have shared about your unique programming right here in St. Louis. With the program goals, with collaboration and development of skills, and building relationships, offering room for people to really explore what they want to be in this post-secondary journey. It really matches perfectly with what we do here at SSD. And so thanks again.
Thank you. I did have one question that Adrienne sent me. She said someone was wondering, are there any scholarship opportunities available? So I might just speak to that real quick before we wrap up. Okay. So right now, we are applying to be what's called a comprehensive transition program. So CTP are the initials for that. And we have to have some initial data from our program, which we're collecting now, to submit forward to qualify as a CTP program. Once that once our program is approved as a CTP, then students and families actually can apply for financial aid. Right now, we don't have any particular scholarships, but we're definitely trying to seek donations. We've had one generous $25,000 donation to the program, and we're definitely on the lookout and trying to apply for grants for, to reach out to folks who might be in kind of the Mizzou donor pool who would be interested in supporting our program. So we do hope that with this CTP approval, with some outreach, that we can make this program more affordable for families. We don't want that cost to be an obstacle. So thank you for that great question. Okay. Yeah, so I think Latricia, maybe that is the only question for now.
Okay. Well, you have provided, again, some very rich information. And one of the things that we do know as the community and parents and family members is that we want our youth to feel safe and supported as they grow. And with the information that you shared about being a place of comfort, this is really a great learning opportunity. So thank you
Good.
again.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to hear from some of your special school district families who might be interested in a program like this.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to share some information about our programs and events at the FACE division here at SSD. If you take a look at the screen, you'll see that there are lots of opportunities coming up with our ASL, which is American Sign Language series, Family Cafe. Family Academy is going on very, very soon. So hop online. If you put your phones up to the screen, you can take a picture of that QR code and it will give you all the information about the events that we have to offer free of charge right here at Special School District. And again, you will see that there are some additional opportunities for lunch and learns coming up in February and April at Huddles in North Tech High School. Understand and know that we have CASEL, the Higher Education Consortium, and we also have the Department of VR. And those are scheduled dates listed here on the screen where you can join us or give us a call or send us an email, and we'll be more than happy to give you some information about all of those agencies that will be on site to help you with your application or any questions that you might have. And again, as I was speaking about Family Cafe and Family Academy, these are dates that you are able to attend. And again, if you take your phones and point them at the screen for the QR codes, it will give you all the information, basic information about each event. And you're welcome again to call or email at any time, and we will most definitely provide you with any information and questions that you might have. As you see here, this is our last screen. We want to thank you for attending our webinar. Thank you again, Professor Lemke, for your time and your rich information for our family, staff, and community. If you want to reach out to us, you see our numbers listed here and email address on the screen, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And that concludes our webinar.